was going to say good morning, but more good afternoon, guys. So this live stream is probably going to be quite brief because I've got a client at 2 o'clock, which I'm looking forward to coaching. He's doing my 1 year program, making a lot of progress. So a tip that I wanted to share today, a couple of tips, because I've got some questions over the last few weeks, and these are things that a lot of you struggle with on the channel, and I've been coaching people in this area now for almost 11 years, so I know most of the struggles off by heart. So in regards to how can you improve yourself more, how can you improve your confidence, especially when you've got social anxiety and you're shy and you care about what people think and you're nervous and all those kinds of things, I would say it starts off, I got a question from a gentleman on this channel. He wants to do my coaching at the moment, but he said he can't afford it at the moment. He's got to make a bit more money in his business, which I totally understand. He's a really great guy, and we've been exchanging emails. And he asked me for a video on. He said, could I give practical daily advice on how he could come outside of his comfort zone? This is a guy that's got bad social anxiety and he's running a business. And I thought about that, and I think it starts off with the simple things like getting up at a certain time as early as you can, waking up. It's my routine pretty much. So hold on a sec. So all right, Timmy. So waking up. Look, we've all got to wake up, right? But waking up with a different attitude, like, okay, I'm feeling fear today, but I want to make it a great day. I'm going to face it. Waking up, having a shower, cleaning the apartment. These are all things I do. Making the bed, putting some music on to get you in a good mood, or positive motivational videos. Getting out the house, go and get a coffee. And what I done today was I practiced a lot. When I got the coffee, there was a gentleman serving me. I go to different coffee shops from time to time, right? As I said, I've got a client later on. I'm in a bit of a rush. I've got a client at 2 o'clock. So when I was getting the coffee, I could have just said, yeah, cappuccino, please, and I could have just left the conversation. But I made an effort. I said to him, how's your day been? How are you feeling? People appreciate that, and it's also good for your confidence. So building confidence, and how can you challenge yourself to come outside your comfort zone every day? By doing these habits, by being accountable, by having discipline. This is not rocket science, but of course, what's the challenge for everyone on this channel, or my clients that I coach, is the fear, it's the anxiety. So the question people are really asking is, how can I live my life better and deal with this fear and anxiety? And you practice it. You practice it. You make a habit of facing those feelings on a day-to-day basis until you get stronger, until you get more relaxed in social situations. And you be kind to others. You add value to others by asking them, how was your day? And having a short conversation. And the guy asked me, he said, how was my day? I said, good. I said, I get good days and I get challenging days. And he made a comment. And then I said, coffee looks great. And he was just saying, oh, no pressure, because he probably felt a little bit of pressure, as I'm sure they do. Working in a business, you're making people coffee. People are coming in for businesses to work, etc. And I was gracious. I said, no, the coffee was great. The last one you made was great. And this one's great. Thank you. So it's stuff like that. It doesn't sound exciting when you say it, but when you practice it, it is exciting, because these are things that you can easily put off. Like, you can lay in bed longer, you can not do the dishes, you can not clean up. Other things as well is, I pack my gym bag. I pack it before I go to the gym. I have it ready. So all these regimental habits give you more of a positive, they make you feel more positive, and they give you more confidence, basically. I've got a habit of always happens. When you drink coffee, especially when you've got a beard, the chocolate goes all around your face. That's why you need these tissues. So yeah, they're simple things that you can do, and if you do them over time, then you can progress. Obviously, you can do, you can make a big leap of faith. Another thing that I thought about, I'm going to make a video on this channel probably today, is a lot of people say to me, how do I overcome my anxiety on the phone? How do you deal with the obligation I feel when I'm having interactions of subsequent occasions because it builds pressure for me? I make an effort, I have to continue with the momentum. Yeah, I think you just got to learn to manage that pressure that people feel, when people feel obligated to give the other person something. And I think it's good to be aware of that, especially when that happens in the moment, and tell yourself to relax more. Because, of course, there's some truth in it. We've all got certain obligations. I think we've all got an obligation to be civil, be polite. But you don't want to overstretch to the point where you can't enjoy yourself and you're, trying to please people too much. So it's a balance. It's a balance of learning, and you sort of go by what feels right for you inside. So I would that would be my best advice in regards to that question. But you could look at it as a positive, and it could be positive or negative, as you said, because if you don't speak to people and you don't put a bit of pressure on yourself, then you're not going to get the satisfaction of having a good conversation with someone where they feel good and you feel good. So pressure can be good depending on how you use it, but it could also be a negative if you let it build up too much to the point where you're so stressed and anxious and you're suffering, and obviously you don't want that. But sometimes you've got to go to that point to recognize, I don't want to feel this amount of obligation and pressure, so you relax a bit more, you don't try as hard and let the other person fill in their space. But these are things that you get better over time with the more you practice. And as I said, back to the original question, it's the original habits that I said earlier that shape the rest of your life. So, for example, for me to do public speaking successfully and go to business meetings and coach people and run a business and go on dates and travel, those things would have felt like Mount Everest when I was at the beginning stages of overcoming my fears and anxieties. I couldn't have done these things. It would have made me terrified to think about these things. So I done things that were less daunting and got used to those things, and then I grew into being able to do more things. So what I'm saying is, for some people, getting out of bed, showering, putting clean clothes on and leaving the house and just going and getting a coffee and saying hello to the person who serves you the coffee, that can be a really big deal. So they should practice that, and they shouldn't compare themselves. That's a key point with this. If you compare yourself to other people, then you're going to get down. You're going to feel like you're not good enough, because there's always going to be someone that's better than you, or it appears. But you can't do that. You got to focus on yourself. You got to go, well, how did I used to be? Well, maybe you couldn't leave the house. Now you can leave the house. So it's like, well done, I'm making progress. So all these things. But they start off with, for me, the battle is getting up, getting dressed, showered, cleaning, and leaving the apartment, And that's what I done this morning. As I said, I've come back because I've got a client at 2 o'clock. So I got up earlier, showered, cleaned, put clean clothes on, left the apartment, went and got a coffee, had a short conversation with the gentleman that served me the coffee. Now I'm doing this live stream, and I'll be going to meet my client at 2 o'clock for a 2-hour coaching session. So I'm living what I'm actually encouraging other people to do. And also, I'm not saying that you should copy me, but you should copy some of the habits, because they're universal. Like, we've all got to get out of bed, we've all got to make a living, most of us, and we all want to talk to people, we want to communicate. That's what I think, that's the whole point of why we're here. We forget that sometimes, and most of us will have a coffee, and if it's not coffee, then we'll have a tea, or if it's not tea, we will have some water. So yeah, get a routine going, It's like a habit that you build every day, and boxers do it, YouTubers do it. They repeat the same thing on a day-to-day basis or a weekly basis. And the reason they do that is because, well, there's so much reasons why they do it. It gives you confidence, it adds value to other people. At some point, it helps you to make money. It gives you a better mental health, and it gives you something to do in life. We all need a passion. We all need to, something to do with the time that we've got. We need a focus. So you've got that routine, and all these things are good for the mental health, which affects, obviously, as you know, your social anxiety. Yeah, that's it. I mean, the coffee, as you said, is also a metaphor for leaving the house. It's like an excuse to get out and leave the house. But of course, you could make a coffee at home. There's nothing wrong with that. And actually, economically, it's a lot cheaper. I should do it, but I like going and getting a coffee. It's a bit of a treat for me. But yeah, I'd say you can have a coffee at home. Yeah, that you can do that. You can wake up in the morning, shower, clean, make yourself a coffee at home, put some music on. But at some point, you want to leave the house so that you can, get over this anxiety of talking to people and moving forward in your life. I'm going to explain it on more videos because I think a lot of people, I'm sure some of you will get it, but some people won't understand. Everybody's going to think of the big goals, which I get. They're going to be like, how can I get the love of my life? How can I make money? How can I overcome not feeling good enough? How can I be successful? How can I please make my parents happy or proud? How can I buy my own house or travel to a lovely country? All those things, which is fine. But to get to those things, if you're really struggling with fear and anxiety and everything in life, then you need to learn some simple habits like how to get up, clean, be accountable. So I'm basically saying when you get the simple habits right, they give you the confidence, they give you the understanding and the motivation. I'm using too many words here, aren't I? Well, maybe I'm not. It's the coffee kicking in. Let me know if I am. Basically, if you succeed at small, simple habits, it gives you the confidence and the courage to go on and achieve big habits. Example, let's say, for example, one of you, your dream was to do public speaking, which was one of my childhood dreams. You wanted to give a talk on stage. It doesn't have to be thousands, it could be 50 people, 30, or it could be thousands. But you want to go out on stage, not on YouTube, but in real life, and you want to inspire people, tell your story, or stand up at Toastmasters and give a talk. That's your dream, great. But right now, you can't do it. You feel too frightened. It's like, it would be the equivalent of jumping in the ocean with great white sharks. You just can't get your head around it. So you need to backtrack and you need to do something that's a lot easier than that, but it's still going to be a little bit challenging. And that could be, for some of you, I'm not saying indefinitely, but that could be leaving your house, going to the coffee shop, and just having a short conversation with the barista who's serving you coffee to get over your social nervousness, your anxiety. It could also be a way of you practicing eye contact, practicing not stuttering, being calmer. So once you could master that, let's say you did that for 30 days or the next couple of months, you practiced every morning going out, getting your coffee and having a conversation with whoever served you, whether it's a woman serving you, whether it's a guy serving you. You practiced having one conversation a day where, general small talk, how has your day been? I'll have that, yep. And it might go into a deeper conversation. Sometimes when you ask someone how their day is, they open up. Not everybody does that, but some people might go, oh yeah, kind of struggling at the moment. Looking to buy a new house, trying to sell the old house. That's stressing me, but hey, what can you do? And then you can come in and go, oh, you're selling a house, are you? Oh, I've got a friend in real estate. I've got a friend who works in property and he sells houses. Next thing you know, you're talking about real estate property. Sometimes that happens. So my point is, the battery. My point is, once you can do the simple habits, then it's a lot easier to go on and then go and do the public speaking. Awesome, Timmy, man. Did you say you got to go work? Appreciate it. I'm doing great, Frank, man. Great to see you guys. Guys, I don't know what's going on lately with the live stream. I don't think the algorithm's getting out because not enough people are coming on. I think I'm doing it on my phone. But yeah, just a quick one today. We're talking about how to talk to people more, how to build habits. Stand-up comedy is a great way of practicing public speaking. We're talking about how to master simple habits and then how to build on those habits. So I gave an example. What was the point? Yeah, hold on a second. More coffee needed. This is a good exercise, guys, that you can do, which I done today. I don't really need preparation, but I've kind of just thrown myself in. I've got a client at 2 o'clock. I got up, I had a shower, put my clean clothes on, set the camera up because I want to make some professional YouTube videos if I've got time, jumped on the live stream. And it's good to do that sometimes. It's good to just throw yourself in and not always need to feel that you're perfect or you need preparation. It builds a really good skill, spontaneity. Thank you. I appreciate that, Frank, man. You know, it's a nice compliment to get as you get older and people compliment you and it's genuine. It makes you feel good because I can see it myself and I'm great for all the training and the dieting. How you been, man? Guys, let me know, by the way, if there's any videos you want me to do on the channel. Oh, yes, the stream is working. God, I think I need another coffee today. Yeah, I'm just trying to... how's the acting going? That's great, man. You got the acting and the fitness. How you getting on with that, man? Do you think it's difficult to remain positive if you're too aware of current agendas? Absolutely, yes. 100%. 100% you can do it, Timmy. I'm doing it. Of course, we're always aware that there are certain things that are negative, and if we really focus on them, they can bring us down. But you can do it. I would say simple habits do that. Because you're a smart guy, Timmy, right? As is everyone on this channel. But you're very smart. Sometimes when you're so smart and intelligent, you're so aware of things, it can get you down. Because you're so aware of what's going on or so many things. So you need to simplify your mind. And that's where, you know, hitting the punch bag comes in. I make an analogy, and I'm not calling anybody stupid, but sometimes we can only beat the mind of stupidity because the mind's too smart and our knowledge is too smart. So we've got to simplify it and go for a walk in the park, meet a friend, have a coffee, you know, do some singing or acting, something that's fun to take our mind off of what's going on in the world, things that are getting us down. That's really good as well. That's really good. You know, doing a daily vlog every day, that sort of accountability, that's brilliant. Especially if you keep that up long term. It's good, man. I'm just trying to make a boxing place and turning it into a show production theatre, hopefully this year. Oh, that's amazing. What's that? So you're doing, let me get it right. Is this about a boxer that you're doing? Are you doing an acting? Is it a one-man sort of performance on boxing? Have I understood that right? Guys, apologies sometimes, but if you comment, it's not as easy to understand you as it is in person. I'm really sharp in person. Not just with my dressing, but with my listening and my responding, but with the comments. I get a bit like, you know, Conor McGregor after he fought Mayweather. I get a little bit wobbly. I've been dying for an excuse to say that. I love when McGregor says that. It makes me laugh. When he says, I get a little wobbly, but it's just energy, you know? It's not a big deal, people. Don't panic. I get like that sometimes. I get a little bit stuttery, wobbly. The challenge I'm having at the moment, I'm sure you guys will help me, is I don't know what content to make because I got so many ideas, so many questions are coming at me, and I can't always, usually I'll always make a decision anyway, but it would be great if you guys could ask me the sort of questions. Maybe I should sit down and write a list of the things that come up in coaching sessions that I help the clients with. But then that's sometimes like a separate audience. There's the people that do my paid coaching, and I would be making videos for them. And then there's people that follow me on YouTube that are not doing paid coaching, but are getting value, and I really enjoy helping you. So it's... That's pretty good. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense to me, what you said. You know, once you earn that, no one can take that away. Inspired by a play I read called Sucker Punch from the late 1980s. Sounds amazing, man. I just get the feel, Frank, that you've got a good feel for this, for what you're doing with the acting. and what it is that you want to do. That's the sense that I get anyway. I went to some theatre plays with a client of mine from America. When did we start? I wasn't open to these things before, and I'll tell you what, man, it was a life-changing experience. I absolutely loved it. Maybe I'll do another video on that. We went to the theatre shows and we went for we built a whole momentum because he would come over from America and do about 9 or 10 days coaching with me. And we had a friendship outside of the business, you know, the coaching relationship. So he'd pay, always appreciated great business from him. And then after coaching was done, we'd go out as friends and we'd go theatre and we'd see The Lion King, we've seen Aladdin, we've seen Back to the Future. We've seen a whole load of different plays, and it's really emotional, really inspires you when you go. It's very emotional. You don't expect it. I enjoyed it. Oh, you're welcome, man. How are we doing for time? Yeah, I'm just going to have to knock out loads of content at the moment because there's so many questions coming. I'm learning so many things as I'm going along, and it's a good challenge to have. It's kind of overwhelming at the moment because it's making a choice of like all these ideas and questions that I'm getting. But at least we covered today, and it goes back to the original question. Even though I titled this live stream "How to Talk to People More," but that was kind of what the guy was asking me: practical daily advice. You know, he has social anxiety. He's running a business. He's struggling. I said to him, if he keeps working on his confidence, he'll make more money in his business because money, business is people, relationships. And the better you get at that, the more your business will go up. So all these kind of things answer his question. Awesome. Have a blessed day, Frank. Yeah, it was just going to be a short one today, guys. This has been great. This is exactly what I hoped how it would turn out. A bit of motivation, get everyone having a good day. And I just wanted to answer that question and share that exercise that anyone can do. Because I realise this, I'll end on this. You know, when you go into any business or coffee shop place, you've got two choices. You can just say, yeah, I want a cappuccino, thank you, and leave. Or you can say a couple more words and ask the person, how is their day going? I'm not saying you've got to stay there forever if you've got to go to work, but you can practice saying a couple more words than you usually would, and that will give you confidence if you keep doing it, right? Obviously, you've got to keep this habit up, like all habits, to see the benefits and the results. But nonetheless, it will get easier the more you do it, the more you take action, and you start building that energy, and over time it becomes second nature. There's another video that I've just come to my mind and I've been asked many times to make this video. How do you overcome the fear of getting on the phone? A lot of people have got a fear that I used to have an awful crippling fear of phone calls. That's not even a sales call, and I've forgotten how far I've come. So I'll do a video explaining how you can overcome that. It's a big phobia for a lot of people, speaking on the phone, especially selling on the phone, or asking someone out on the phone, or arranging a date, or talking to a friend, or making a phone call for the first time, applying for a job, etc. Yeah, for those of you that are going to watch this stream later on, I appreciate it. You can subscribe. I'm a confidence coach for men. I coach men mostly in the area of social anxiety. I help them to get past that so they can build confidence and they can live the life that they want. And it goes into a lot of other areas, as some of you know, some of you may not know, but that's kind of the basis of what I do. It's all around building confidence, because I learned in my life, when you're confident, success just seems to come. Whether we create it, which that can be true, or people see the confidence, they're drawn to it and they give opportunities, or they want to be part of our life, etc. But when you don't have confidence, I find that it's hard to be successful at anything. You don't really get the opportunities. It's something in the psychology of people that people are drawn to confident people that are more positive. They seem to demonstrate more strength, more character, more resilience. So I learnt these things along the way, and confidence is an important part of life if you want to live any sort of happy life, even if you don't want to be ultra successful. Just to enjoy the life that you've got now, if you could be a bit more confident, your experience would be better than if you don't have that confidence. And you know, confidence for me is measured in various ways, one of which is your ability to face fear and handle fear and stress. Secondly, your ability to be yourself and be honest and consistent with that. Thirdly is your ability to handle rejection, criticism, other people's opinions, setbacks, disappointments, to come back from that. There's kind of three ways that you can measure it, and there's probably even more ways that I can think of in another moment. But for now, and yeah, it's just easier, you know. And you've got to be confident to make money, because you've got to learn how to communicate. You've got to be confident to get a date. And again, being confident doesn't mean being perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not even close to it, and I haven't met anyone who is perfect. But being confident is being, you know, performing better than someone would who is just sort of having confidence issues or given up on themselves, or they've never really thought about improving themselves, or they've just had struggles and they've just thought, well, that's just how I am. I can't change it. But you can change it if you set goals, you hold yourself accountable to those goals, you do what I've been saying in this stream for the last 26 to almost 30 minutes. You build a habit. You build these habits. Habits build confidence. Confidence breeds success, as Mike Tyson says, and his trainer, and success breeds confidence. So they go hand in hand. Successful people are confident because they're successful, and confident people are successful because they're confident. So that's what I do on the channel. If you want to be part of it, subscribe. I make loads of videos. I've been doing this almost 11 years. I've coached people from all around the world, helped them to overcome so many different challenges around this area, right? Anyway, I've got a client to go to now, guys, right? Love you and leave you, as the Irish say. And I'll speak to you guys soon. Have a great day.